Without a doubt, I'm pretty sure that we can all agree that there is a handful of SMMA niches that we all should avoid regardless if we are just starting out or if we are a well-established agency. And in this video, I'll go ahead and explain to you the SMA niches that I personally think, in my opinion, you should avoid at all costs, as well as explain to you why. And we'll also do the exact opposite, which is show you what are the best SMMA niches to actually get into, whether you are an aspiring agency owner or an already established agency owner, by giving you a framework to follow to best find the niche that will work best for you. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. So as mentioned in the intro, in this video, we're not only going to show you exactly the niches that I personally, in my opinion, think you should avoid, but we'll also show you the opposite, which is what are the best niches to actually get into. Because honestly, at the end of the day, regardless of any advice you hear from me or from anyone else, one niche might work for someone, but might not work for someone else. There's many different factors that go into play. And I also want to preface that even though I'm going to tell you to avoid these niches, obviously there's people that are, successful serving these niches, right? Again, there's so many different variables and factors, but I'm basing this video off of someone who is just getting into SMA or someone who is already an existing agency owner, but, they don't have the team of, let's say, 100 or 200 people, right? So yeah, we'll go ahead and get right into it. Now, the 4 niches that you should avoid, the first one is going to be nonprofits, okay? Stay away from nonprofits. And the reason that is because with nonprofits, they have a limited budget and they're focused on donations rather than marketing. I remember we were talking about working with a nonprofit company, and the idea, they're a good company, and they wanted to take a lot of, the money that they have donated, to basically put back into the things that they're doing, the organization. And very little did they want to actually take some of that money and put into marketing. So nonprofit organizations, I think you should stay away from them because, again, they're limited to the budget. And then they focus more on the donation rather than the marketing, which kind of makes sense. But, you need to actually market to get your organization out there, right? So that's the first one. The second one is local government agencies. Now with this, you starting out, probably you won't work with a local government, but nonetheless, this is a really bad niche because, they have slow decision-making process and then they're limited to budget. So yeah, just getting things approved, in government is really, really slow. I don't think any of you guys starting out will do this, but, from my research, this is one of the niches that actually came up, which I actually agree is not a good niche to get into. Number 3 is personal branding. And personal branding, the reason why it's a bad niche to get into when you're just starting out or you're not yet established is that you are limited to the target audience and it's kind of oversaturated in the market. If you think about it, unless you're getting paid a good amount of money and you're working long term, then it kind of makes sense. But, personal branding, it's just like you're better off working with a different niche rather than personal branding, okay? Because there's so many variables that come with personal branding. Like you might get someone who doesn't even understand anything about building a brand, and now you're doing that stuff for them as well, as opposed to just marketing. We had this with one of our clients when I had an SEO agency a few years back. We were not only doing her SEO, but we were also trying to build her personal brand, and it was just really hectic. She had the budget, but the audience was just like limited, and it was just it was not a good experience, to be honest with you. So personal branding, try to avoid that. Again, I'm trying to build my personal branding, and I can tell you it's not as easy as one may seem. I couldn't imagine just doing that for my agency. Like, that is my niche. So I would definitely stay away from this if you are just starting out. And then the last thing is small retail businesses. Now, only small retail businesses that have a low LTV, so lifetime value. Okay. So what an example of this can be like a restaurant, for example, right? So a restaurant is a local business, and for them, it's like, how much is one person worth to them? Maybe one person eats at a restaurant, $20, $30 plate. So let's say you get them 50 customers in a month, 50 leads, or even 100 leads. That's not going to move the needle. That's like a few $1,000. So any retail or any local business in particular that has a low LTV. Now, if we talk about, let's say, med spas, for example, local business is a med spa, for them on average, they charge, I don't know, maybe like $750 per person. Then that makes sense because, if you get them 100 of these people at $750 a pop, that's some good revenue that, that they'll make, which they can make sense then of paying you $2,000 or $3,000. So the idea here when it comes to small retail businesses, or really any small local business, is that you want to avoid the businesses that have a I don't even know what you would refer to that. I guess it would be LTV, right? But basically, like when one customer buys from them, how much is that amount that they're spending? Because like I said, if you generate them 50 to 100 leads, people that actually come into their business, and they only make $2,000 to $3,000, like how do you expect them to pay you $2,000 or $3,000 when that's literally what 100 leads is worth to them? So I would stay away from local businesses that have a low LTV. So these are kind of 4 niches to avoid. And obviously, guys, within nonprofit, there's like sub niches. Within local government, there's sub niches. Within personal branding, there's sub niches like coaches. It could be fitness coaches. It could be like there's so many different sub niches within these. So although we say 4, you might be thinking about a niche, and you got to ask yourself, does it fall under one of these actual niches? Okay. So now that we established, what to avoid, and I mean, I could have made this list even longer. I figured it would be better to tell you what to actually look for, right? So like, what are actual good niches that you can get into? So what are some good niches? Well, I'm going to give you a simple answer, which is depends. I know you don't want to hear that answer. I know you want me to just tell you this, or this, but it really depends. It depends on multiple factors. 2 of the factors that I personally think it depends on is, 1, if you are just starting out with SMA, or if you are a current agency. So if I was giving this to myself as right now, someone that has a paid ads agency for 3 years, that advice is going to be different than myself when I was starting out just 3 years ago. So that's the first factor, right? Are you just starting out, or are you a current agency? The second factor is going to be your passion and expertise, as well as your knowledge and advantages that you have. Okay, so what do we mean by this? I actually recorded a detailed video, guys, on this. Okay, so I highly recommend this. This document is going to be linked down below. I recommend that you guys go watch this video, because in this video, I basically talked about how to choose your agency. Okay, how to choose your niche. And when it comes to choosing a niche, don't just do what everyone else does. You need to have a framework. Okay, you need to have a framework to follow, because guys, like I'm telling you, like your passion and your expertise and the knowledge and the advantages that you have, that plays a big role into choosing the niche that is right for you. So I'll give you guys an example, which again, I mentioned in this video. Recommend that you check this video out after you finish watching this video, but I'll give you guys an example of myself. When I started out with my agency, I wanted to get into e-commerce, right? And the reason I wanted to do that is because I had a drop shipping store that I was able to scale to $20,000 a month. So when I got into it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get into e-commerce, and I'm going to start working with brands that sell fashion, right? Like, any type of clothing, apparel, okay? And instead of just pitching everyone, I was like, hold on, I was doing drop shipping, selling dresses that are targeted towards Arab/Muslim women, right? So if you've ever seen a Muslim female, like they wear like a long thobe, right, like a gown, I was selling that, right, and I did great with that. So I'm like, okay, why would I go and do, let's say, streetwear, when I can go ahead and focus on targeting or working with brands that sell similar products to what I was selling? Why did I choose that? Well, 1, it gave me the knowledge and advantage, right? It gave me knowledge and advantage because I've already did this for my own store. I kind of understood like what works, what doesn't, what kind of ads work, right? This is knowledge and advantage that I have. But also, expertise, right? My expertise, I wouldn't say it's a passion of mine, selling clothing, but literally like it was my expertise. Not only that, guys, but the people that I was pitching, you got to think, the people that I'm pitching, if they're selling that product, they're most likely from a certain demographic. So the people that I pitched were Arab/Muslim individuals. They were Arab/Muslim business owners. Myself being an Arab and a Muslim, automatically built rapport with them right away. Okay. Not only that, guys, but the people that they're selling to are most likely also Arab and Muslim. So you see how it all ties in together? This gave me the advantage, the knowledge, and the expertise over other agency owners. So now when I'm pitching this specific business owner, right, who sells specific clothing, speaks a different specific language, has specific beliefs. When I pitch them versus, let's say, Tommy from New York, an American guy, who do you think they're going to resonate with more? Obviously myself, because I literally share the same values, the same beliefs. We speak the same language. So that was how I was able to use my own advice that I'm telling you, which is Figure out your passion and your expertise, your knowledge and your advantages that you have over other agency owners. That's the number one benchmark, and then what comes after that is if you're starting or if you're established. So this video, guys, breaks it down in detail. I highly recommend that you check out this video after you're done with this, but that's how I would answer this question, which is, what is the best niche to get into? I will never tell you this is a good niche before telling you a framework. Okay, you guys have to think of like your agency as like a framework and a system. You don't just do things for the sake of doing them. You want to have a like a hypothesis, if you will, and then conduct the experiment, and then look at the results and adjust accordingly, right? But because I want to give you guys as much value as possible, I kind of briefly go over what we speak about in this video. Okay, so just an overview of this video right here. If you're just starting out, I would focus on local. So I would focus on local if you're starting out. Why would I do that? Because one, it has low competition. Okay. So with local, with e-commerce, you can imagine everyone is, downloading these emails and then sending a bunch of mass emails to e-commerce brands. With local businesses, it's low competition. So they're significantly getting pitched less than that of, let's say, e-commerce or information product. So one, it's low competition. Two, it's easier to build rapport. So, imagine you live in, let's say, Nashville, Tennessee, and you're working with, you're working with med spas, and you look out your window and you realize that there's a med spa down the street from you. Well, imagine if you actually go ahead and pitch that client, right? The fact that you guys are within the same jurisdiction is going to build a rapport, right? This is why, like, whenever you meet someone and you're like, oh, where are you from? They're like, oh, I'm from here. They're like, oh, really? Yeah, I'm from here, kind of close to you. So personally, from what I've seen, it builds automatic rapport. When I was running an SEO agency and I was targeting people within the San Francisco jurisdiction, it automatically built rapport because we're literally like neighbors with one another. So yeah, definitely it builds rapport. And then last thing is it's actually easier to deliver services for. Okay, so with an e-commerce store, you have all these different attribution softwares that you need to check to make sure results are great. You're testing all these different variables. You're probably working with UGC creators and you're doing all these things. With a local business, it's usually easier to get them results. Most of the time it's leads, so you're just trying to get, more people to actually come into the business. So this is what I would do if I was just starting out. I would focus on this right here. Now over here is actually a list of 85 local niches, which I kind of cover in this video. This document, guys, is going to be linked down below. So if you want to take a look at this list, feel free to do so. But I basically went ahead and I compiled a list of, local businesses. Now, keep in mind, some of these businesses are going to fall into what I'm telling you not to go after. So for example, like nail salons, I don't know how much a nail salon charges per customer. If it's like under 100, I would stay away from it. But nonetheless, probably there's nail salons that charge a lot. But for example, like pool remodeling, landscaping, floor installation, kitchen remodeling, all of these guys cost thousands of dollars for each customer, right? So, the client you're working with can make sense of actually paying you, $2,000, $3,000, whatever amount you're asking for, because, if you generate them 100 people and each one costs $1,000 or more, each one is worth $1,000 and more, then they can make sense of paying you a couple hundred grand. A couple $1,000. But nonetheless, this sheet right here, we have home services, we have health and beauty, we have miscellaneous, we have automotive, and we have real estate as well as legal. So this document is going to be linked down below if you are just starting out and you want to get an idea as to what niches you can go after, or at least what niches are out there. But like I said, make sure you follow what I'm telling you here and do your due diligence when choosing a niche, regardless of what niche you decide to get into. Now, if you are an existing agency owner, what I would do, what this video covers right here for existing agency owners, is that you want to think about the knowledge that you have over other agencies. So kind of like myself, I was thinking, okay, how do I pitch people how do I find a niche and pitch people that will give me the highest probability of them saying yes to agree to work with me? Well, I figured, I'm like, okay, go to my own people, right? Go to like people that, have the same beliefs as me, share the same values, speak the same language. And that's how I was able to, go into servicing brands that are Arab/Muslim, right? So this is an advantage and knowledge that I have over other agencies. You need to figure out what is your knowledge and advantage that you have over other agencies. And the next thing is that you want to work with a niche that has accurate ROI metrics. So Like for example, e-commerce, you can track how much you spent versus how much you generated. Now, granted, with everything that's going on with Apple and Facebook and the not tracking properly, you're not going to get an accurate amount. It's not going to, you're not going to see exactly like this is 100% accurate, but nonetheless, you're going to get an idea that you spent $1,000 and you generated 5,000. It might be a little bit more, might be a little bit less, but nonetheless, you can actually see what the ROI is. So I would work with a niche that you're able to track the ROI versus, let's say, a local business where, you might be able to get them 100 leads, but maybe, 20 of those people came in and didn't mention that they were a lead. You get what I mean? So, work with a niche that has accurate ROI metrics. And the reason we want to do that, guys, is because we want to be able to charge a percentage of rev share. Okay, so, in my best month, I've mentioned this a few times on the channel, with 5 clients only in November 2022, I was able to generate $115,000 just with 5 clients. So how was I able to do that? I was able to do that because the way we set our pricing is we charge a monthly fee plus a percentage of the revenue that we generate our clients. So, this is why you want to do rev share, because you'll be able to make a lot of money, right, with few clients, depending on how much revenue you generate those clients. Okay. So this is what I would do if I am an existing agency owner. And this is kind of what this video goes over. And then lastly, guys, this kind of concludes the video, but if you're watching this video and you want to know what niches to avoid, you probably have some other questions that you want answered. And in this document, which is going to be linked down below, I went ahead and linked some resources that I think you'll find valuable. So these are all videos that I've done in the past. This video talks about how to get your first client, like how you can literally get your first client as of today, the protocol that you need to follow to do so. This right here goes over the best Loom outreach strategy, guys, in my opinion. This outreach strategy is going to blow your mind. It's a 46-minute video. It's probably one of the best outreach strategies out there. This is what I did for the first 2 years of running an agency. I still do it to this date, but with things tweaked around. There's things that we do before actually sending the Loom video, but nonetheless, this is going to be the first, one of the best videos to actually kickstart your outreach method. We break everything down. We include the script. We include, the lead tracker to be able to organize all of your outreach. So everything is included in this video. This video right here is basically how to automate this Loom outreach. Because now that you know how to send the Loom video, which is going to take you 10 to 15 minutes is going to be each video, we go ahead and show you how to automate it to just a 1-minute video. Meaning now, instead of spending 10 to 15 minutes to record a video, you just need to spend 1 minute for each prospect to record them a video. So what that means is that now you can do this at scale. You can send 100, 200, 300 a day. And we show you exactly how to automate that by recording an evergreen video with basically an intro still personalized to the prospect that you're outreaching to. So highly recommend that you check out this video. It's going to save you so much time and allow you to actually send many Looms, at scale. And then the next video here is how to find e-commerce clients. So let's say you are someone that is looking to find e-commerce clients. This video goes over specifically how to find clients that are e-commerce using Instagram. This video, guys, oh man, this is an insane video. This is like, I've only seen one person talk about this online. In this video right here, we go ahead and we show you how to scrape 5,000 leads using Hunter.io. So most people know Hunter.io is a Chrome extension that allows you to find the email address of a specific website. You open up a website, you click the Hunter.io Chrome extension, and it finds their email address. Or little do people know that there's a URL that if you go to this URL, this Hunter.io URL, you're able to put in certain softwares that a business uses. So for example, you can say, I want a list of people using Shopify as their CMS, and it'll give you literally a list of all the brands using Shopify. And what you can do then is you have different filters. You can filter by the popularity of a brand. You can filter by the language, right? You can filter by where they are in the US and what in the world. And what that does is now it narrows down your list, and you can basically scrape 5,000 free leads absolutely free based on criteria that you tell Hunter.io. So I explain everything in this video, and also in this video I share with you guys the lead tracker that I use to now actually organize these 5,000 leads. So this is an amazing video. I highly recommend you check it out. And then the last one is, I recommend you watch this video too. So this video explains why 99% of agency owners fail. So if you want to know why
you might fail, or how to avoid it, or why other people that you know fail, watch this video. If you want to know why everyone who's been successful with SMMA has been successful with it, then watch this video, because this video literally breaks down why most people fail and vice versa, why the people that are successful succeeded. So I'm going to link this video down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, give us a like, check out the links down below. And if you are an agency owner that is looking to really scale your business and you want us to come into your business and build out your entire outreach infrastructure as well as your service delivery, then there's going to be a link where you can learn more about that down below as well. With that being said, hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.